What's good, C-Red Nation? Today we're going to be talking about the Chicago Bulls possibly trading up for Lamelo Ball. And it starts right now. If you are new to the channel, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page because we do talk Chicago sports weekly. We don't want you to miss a thing, so make sure that you hit that bell. Also want to let you know that this video is sponsored by not only Martinelli Originals, the people who give us these lovely Chicago logo heads, check them out in the description below, but also the fine people over at obviousshirts.com. You ever have that statement that you want to say, that thing you just have to say about your sports team, but you can't find the right way to say it? Look no further than obviousshirts.com. They've already got all the sayings for you. Everything from Javi Baez is good at baseball all the way down to Khalil Mack will sack your quarterback. So make sure that you check out the link below and use the promo code TheBreeze10 to get 10% off your final purchase at obviousshirts.com. And by the way, it does put a little bit of scratch in your boy's pocket if you do support. Just wanted to let you guys and YouTube know that this is a paid promo. So, a lot of rumors floating around Lamelo Ball right now. The draft is next week, and the question is still in the air. Who are the Chicago Bulls going to take? What are they going to do with that fourth pick in the draft? And recently, I don't know what happened. To me, Anthony Bennett is the clear-cut number one pick in this draft, but at some point, Lamelo Ball overtook him. Literally like 2 days ago out of nowhere in mock drafts everywhere, Lamelo Ball was just the number one pick. Maybe great marketing by LeVar. But now the reports are coming in, right? We heard from Casey Johnson that the Chicago Bulls are looking to address the point guard position. Now, he doesn't know that if that's in the draft or in free agency, maybe they go after somebody like Drew Holiday, which I'd be in on. But at some point this offseason, they're absolutely going to address it, and that could mean moving up aggressively for Lamelo Ball. We even heard it reported from Zach Lowe, a little bit bigger report, that the Bulls would be willing to even part with Wendell Carter to go get Lamelo Ball. So these are big steps. This is the Chicago Bulls talking about trading up to possibly one or two to go after Lamelo Ball, giving up assets that we thought we had built into this team to go get Lamelo Ball. And so the question is, should they do this? Do you think they should do this? I'm kind of on two different fronts with this. When I watched LaMelo's game, like I said in the previous video, 5 players the Bulls should draft. You can find that link in the description below as well. I think LaMelo is your biggest boom or bust factor. I think that LaMelo possibly has tremendous upside, and I'm willing to take a chance on him if he falls to you. I said I don't know if I'd be willing to draft up or trade up to go draft him, but I would absolutely be willing to take a chance on LaMelo if he fell to the Bulls. But now with all this hype around his name, that's probably not going to happen. So your options are going to be trading up for him, and like I said, LaMelo's a good player. He's got the highest upside, but I also think he has the highest bust factor because the numbers look good, right? 17 points a game, almost 7 assists, almost 8 rebounds a game. But that's in 12 games, and the shooting percentage on those 17 points was not pretty. It was not pretty. It was very ugly. So you have to ask the question, is he going to come into the NBA and be a guy who every now and then can pop off for some big points, but for the most part is unable to continuously average a high percentage in this NBA? I think the most concerning part was that his three-point shot was so low. It was 25%. And so to me, I'm torn on it because on one side, I look at it as this guy could be incredibly talented in the NBA. He could come out. He could be everything that we're being sold on. But I think he does have the biggest bust factor, that boom or bust factor. But listen, like I said, I was willing to go after Michael Porter Jr. the year we drafted Wendell Carter. I loved Michael Porter. I've been watching him since he was like 15. I just knew this kid was going to be great. But because of the back injury, nobody wanted to take a chance on him. And now he looks like he's going to be a pretty talented player in this NBA. Now, before I continue with the video, I want to know your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Should the Chicago Bears trade up to go get Lamelo Ball? Now, here's the other part with me, though. Here's the biggest thing for me. AK, you do whatever you want. And that is the biggest factor when it comes down to what the Chicago Bulls are going to do in this draft. AK's overseas vision is ridiculous. I always go back to the fact that he went and found the Joker in the second round, and that's mind-blowing to me. I think we took Doug McDermott that year. So you went and found the Joker in the second round. His draft resume is vast. What he did with that Denver team was beautiful, and so I'm okay with him if he's identified Lamelo Ball as his guy. As I said in the 5 players to bullshit draft video, that if you've identified him as your guy, if you clearly see that this kid has something that people are sleeping on, then yeah, go get him. Go have the cojones to get him. I'll always be fine with a GM having the gusto to pull the trigger on something that other people might not think is going to be a great idea. Now, if that idea doesn't work, I also reserve the right to lambaste you after. But you also look at this draft. This draft is not incredibly deep. Disclaimer, like I always say, that's on the surface. By 5 years down the road, we're always looking like, oh man, remember they said this draft wasn't deep? This draft went crazy. But right now, from what we're seeing, this draft does not look incredibly deep. And so I think you have to identify those guys, and I think you have to go for the best talent available. And the tough part is, if you are moving up, you're probably trying to trade with somebody like Golden State. Minnesota really doesn't need another big, but you're probably trying to get in that Golden State spot. So you probably are sending Wendell Carter Jr. to Golden State along with your 4th pick in the draft to try and fill their need for a center, and to also give them the pick so that you're able to get that higher pick back. And to me, that's the deal I would be gladly make. I know a lot of people like Wendell. I think Wendell is talented, but I think that there's a guy on Daniel Gafford who can fill that position at the center position. I don't think that he is a you have to hold on to this guy kind of player. And so if you are able to move up to 2 by making that play, I look, me personally, I wouldn't do it for LaMelo. But if you're able to make that move in general, I think you have to make that move. Get yourself the highest possible draft pick that you can get to get the best possible talent in here. Clearly, AK's been doing his homework. Clearly, he's identified the guys that he wants already, the guys that he thinks are going to be the world beaters in this draft. And so at the end of it, it's just in AK we trust, right? That's how I'm going into next week. Whatever you want to do, dog, you haven't made a wrong step yet. You were okay in my book the second you took Gar Forman out at the knees. So whatever AK does, would I personally do it? I wouldn't trade up for him, but if he does, I believe that means he's identified something in LaMelo that maybe a lot of people aren't seeing. But I want to know your opinion. Let me know in the comments below. Should the Chicago Bulls trade up to draft LaMelo Ball? I'm going to be down there talking with each and every one of you. It is your boy Pat the Designer, back at it again. To continue watching more Chicago Bulls content, click the links here, check the links in the description below. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Peace.